Hi everybody and welcome to Brunch Business. Here we are on this glorious day. I'm feeling a little bit warmer, but not too hot, which is fantastic.
Sensational, absolutely.
And I notice you've been writing some stuff in your diary there, Gary. What do you want us to talk about today?
Well, we won't talk directly about what I've been writing there because it's one particular client, so we won't go into that. But, okay, the thing with this particular client, and it's just so common, and I guess that it was something that I tolerated for too long. Mm-hmm. And when I say I tolerated, I probably let it go as a thing for too long, and also did the wrong thing by the people that were my supervisors or duty managers.
So what is that?
And that is consistency. And the problem is inconsistent attitudes by people in a team that are leaders in an organisation creates all of the trouble and all of the confusion.
And how many times do we come across that?
Well, it's the basis of all difficulties.
So
sorry.
So when we go into a business and they say we need some staff training, we always, never ever do we start a training without first doing one with their leaders, their leadership team, do we?
No.
Because basically that's where the problem begins.
Yep. And the situation is, in most circumstances, and I was guilty of exactly the same thing, those guys were my team. They were the people that I had in place, I guess you could say. They were the people that I relied on, and I was tolerant of too much because they were my guys. And this is the same problem that we come across with trying to tell a CEO or a manager of an organisation or of a division, you've got a problem with your team of supervisors, managers, coordinators, whatever the titles may be, because they're not being consistent.
So, for
instance, they're all nice guys.
Oh, of course. Look, that we've never come across people we think that are bad or evil or in it for themselves or anything like that. But as Gary used the word tolerate, it's like if you let the little things slide, you'll start letting the big things slide.
Yep.
And if you allow your team, your leadership team, to let the little things slide, you've lost it. You create this inconsistency. Say, for instance, I often hear this when we start doing this after we've done the leadership programs, where a staff member will say, well, Bob lets Jenny use her phone when she's on shift, but he doesn't let anybody else.
Yeah.
Things like that, or Sue's a great person to work with because we're allowed to take breaks anytime we like.
Yep.
But not on any other shift we can. Things like that.
Well, this is really different with this one because the organisation's got 4 different divisions, and what they do is, if one division's got more work on than the other, they actually move the staff across from one division to the other, and they've done a fabulous job of multi-skilling these people. Everyone in the place is sensational, but each one of the managers has a different attitude, and it's almost like appears to be a favouritism as well to some of the staff, and creates a real niche situation, and it's diminishing the whole culture of the organisation underneath them.
Absolutely. Look,
and it's all just because of lack of consistency.
Yeah, can I use a little story about favouritism in that? In this instance?
We'll go for it.
So I had...
I'm not going to get to stop you, am I?
Well, you can if you've got something else to add. But I worked in casinos, and I was a casino manager. And of course, when you work in casinos, it can be quite insular. So you make friends within the workplace because they're so big. Most of the casinos in Australia are so big. And one of the supervisors was a very close friend of mine. And she would come to me on odd occasions and with her lip turned down, and she'd say to me, can you speak to Bruce? And I'd say, why? What have you done? What have you done? Well, he said that I've got to do such and such because I'm not doing it right. And I said, what are you coming to me for? And she'd say, well, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. And I'd say, is that the way you should be doing it? No, but I want you to tell him that I'm allowed to do it that way. I said, no, I'm sorry. There's a line. There's a line. You must make a line in the sand and say, no, you can't cross it. And she knew. She knew. She was just gigging me, but she knew that there was no way I'd cross that line. You have to be consistent with everybody, because what happens if you're not consistent with everybody?
It breaks down. All the rules are gone.
Yep.
The values are gone.
Yep.
And the beliefs in
bitterness.
The conflict starts, which is all about the culture factor.
Yep.
And there's so many things in the culture factor, as we recognise,
Yep.
that all falls down. And we go back to the other line, that everything to do with the culture starts from the top. And
Absolutely.
It's all about treatment. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's the the drag out of the diary for today, which is about consistency, which is the building block of stability in an organisation.
Exactly. So each one of your leadership team should be on the same page.
Most definitely.
And that's Brunch Business for today.
Catch you soon, guys.
If you want to learn more, get on to us. We can help you out. Free session. It's okay. Get onto it. Keep smiling.
Bye now.